Hi, second grade readers. Welcome to Wednesday. Before we get started today, I want to take a minute to review what we've talked about so far this week. Do you remember on Monday we started talking about predictions and what those are? We used our before, our during, and our after strategies in order to help you predict throughout a book. And yesterday we talked about using pictures to make our predictions. Today, I want us to talk about using the structure or how the book is put together in order to make predictions also. The book that we're going to use today, it's called Tops and Bottoms, and it is by Janet Stephens. Now, remember that we learned that our before reading activity should be that we look at the book and that we decide, what do we think, what do we predict that this story is going to be about? Well, I see a bear on a chair and he's sleeping, and then I see a bunny or a kind of carrying a corn. Okay, and so I'm looking at this book, and so I'm predicting that this story is going to be about a bear and a rabbit, right? Or a bunny. It looks like it has something to do with vegetables, maybe. So I'm going to predict that this story is going to have something to do with vegetables. And that evidently the bear likes to sleep a lot, right? Can you also see that? So I've already made some predictions before I am even reading my book. I will make predictions throughout my book as well. So I want you to think about this story. Look at this book. Isn't this cool? Look, when I open it and kind of do a little picture walk through this book, do you notice something different about this book than maybe the average book that you read? I bet you do. I'm noticing that instead of reading it this way, like we do most books, it is written on the top and the bottom. Okay, let's go back and look. Remember what our title was? Tops and Bottoms. So I took a picture walk and I noticed the book is written like there's a picture and some writing on the top. There's a picture and writing on the bottom. Ooh, I want to predict that I will be able to, that's going to have something to do with our story as we read it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Once upon a time, there lived a very lazy bear who had lots of money and lots of land. His father had been a hard worker and a smart business bear, and he had given all of his wealth to his son. But all Bear wanted to do was sleep. Not far down the road lived a hare. Although Hare was clever, he sometimes got into trouble. He had once owned land too, but now he had nothing. He had lost a risky bet with a tortoise and had sold all of his land to Bear to pay off the debt. Hare and his family were in very bad shape. "The children are so hungry, Father Hare. We must think of something," Mrs. Hare cried one day. So Hare and Mrs. Hare put their heads together and cooked up a plan. The next day, Hare hopped down the road to Bear's house. Bear, of course, was asleep. "Hello, Bear, wake up. It's your neighbor, Hare, and I have an idea." Bear opened one eye and grunted. "We can be business partners," Hare said. "All we need is this field right here in front of your house. I'll do the hard work of planting and harvesting, and we can split the profit right down the middle." "Yes, sir, Bear. We're in this together. I'll work and you sleep." "Huh?" said Bear. "So what will it be, Bear?" asked Hare. "The top or the bottom half?" "It's up to you. Tops or bottoms?" Let's see," Bear said with a yawn. "I'll take the top half, Hare. Right, tops." Hare smiled. "It's a done deal, Bear." Ooh, I'm going to pause there for a minute because I think we just got a lot of clues on that page. What do you think? I see that the book is written top and bottom. Remember, the title was Tops and Bottoms. And now look what's happened. The hare told Bear to choose. Do you want the tops or the bottoms of our harvest? Ooh, I'm going to predict that maybe Bear is going to make the wrong choices because he's having to choose if he wants the top half of the plant or the bottom half of the plant. Wow, I think we're going to be hearing this tops and bottoms theme all the way through the book. That is my prediction. All right, let's keep going. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. Hare planted, Mrs. Hare watered, and everyone weeded. Ooh. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the tops and I get the bottoms." And again, look how the story, isn't that cool? There's a top and bottom page. Hare and his family dug up the carrots, the radishes, the beets. Hare plucked off all the tops, tossed them into a pile for Bear, and put the bottoms aside for himself. Now I'm going to use some of my background knowledge right here. What do you know about carrots, radishes, and beets? I know that they grow under the ground. Do you? So, I'm predicting that Hare, is kind of fooling the bear, isn't he? He got all the good stuff because he chose the bottom. So he planted things that grew under the ground. He got the bottoms. Bear only got the top half, the leaves, right? So I'm going to predict that Hare is going to try to trick Bear all the way through this. Do you kind of see it happening too? All right. Bear stared at his pile. "But Hare, all the best parts are in your half." "You chose the tops, Bear," Hare said. "Now, Hare, you've tricked me. You plant this field again, and this season, I want the bottoms." Hare agreed. "It's done deal, Bear." What do you think he's going to do? Can you predict what he thinks he's going to do? So the top part of the page was talking about Bear was not happy, right? The bottom half of the page is like, "Oh, sure, Bear, I'll go along with you." What do you think Hare's going to do? He seems a little devious, doesn't he? He's a trickster. I predict that Hare is going to plant things that won't give Bear whatever he chooses. What do you think? Let's read on and see if our prediction's correct. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded. So here's the hares in the top part of the book, and here's the bear. Do you see what he's doing? Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! You get the bottoms, and I get the tops." Can you predict what he planted and what he's going to get? I predict that whatever the tops are going to be the good things, and whatever the bottoms are probably not going to be the good things. What do you think? Hare and his family gathered up the lettuce, the broccoli, and the celery. Hare pulled off the bottoms for Bear and put the tops in his own pile. Oh, now I'm going to take some background knowledge and I'm going to apply what we just learned before we left school. Remember, we did our lettuce and all our science experiments and we talked about what we eat. So look, he grew lettuce, broccoli, and celery. All of those things, do they grow on the top or the bottom? Does it help with your prediction? Bear looked at his pal and scowled. "Hare, you have cheated me again." "But Bear," Hare said, "you wanted the bottoms this time." Bear growled. "You plant this field again, Hare. You tricked me twice, and you owe me one season of both tops and bottoms." You're right, poor old bear, sighed Hare. It's only fair that we both get tops and bottoms this time. Or that you get tops and bottoms this time. It's a done deal, Bear. Uh-oh. Can you predict what you think is going to happen now? So this time he's going to get tops and bottoms. What do you think that Hare is going to plant this time around? Remember, he's a trickster. Oh, there's Bear. He's still sleeping. So Bear went back to sleep, and Hare and his family went to work. They planted, watered, and weeded. Then watered and weeded some more. Bear slept as the crops grew. When it was time for the harvest, Hare called out, "Wake up, Bear! This time you get the tops and the bottoms." There in front of Bear's house lay a high field of corn. Hare and his family yanked up every corn stalk. Hare tugged off the roots at the bottom and the tassels at the top and put them in a pile for Bear. Then he carefully collected the ears of corn in the middle and placed them in his own pile. Bear rubbed his eyes and watched. "See, Bear, you get the tops and the bottoms. I get the middles." "Yes, sir, Bear. It's a done deal." Was your prediction correct? Mine was not. I did not know that he was going to do that. So at this point, remember, I'm going to adjust my prediction. Now that I know what happened, I'm thinking, oh, he tricked Bear again, didn't he? By now, Bear was wide awake. Uh-oh, what do you think is going to happen? Is Bear going to be upset? Now remember, Bear's been kind of a lazy bear, hasn't he? Hasn't really done any of the work. Do you think he's going to be upset? And what do you think Hare is going to do? Let's see. By now, Bear was wide awake. "That's it, Hare," he hollered. "From now on, I'll plant my own crops and take the tops, bottoms, and middles." Hare and his family scooped up the corn and hopped down the road toward the house. So has Hare's gotten everything he wanted, right? Bear never again slept through a season of planting and harvesting. He bought back his land with his profits from the crops, and he said he and Mr. Hare opened up a vegetable stand. And although Hare and Bear learned to live happily as neighbors, they never became business partners again. Do you also remember that we talked about last week that sometimes you can learn something from a story? Let's kind of put that in here too. Do you think Bear learned a lesson in this story? I do. I think he learned to not be lazy. Was that your prediction as well? Great job today, boys and girls. As you read, I would like for you to practice using structure and pictures and your before, during, and after questions as you read your book. I know you can do it. Have a great day, second grade.